Great pick. Definitely. Great pick.
But so those are our halftime hot takes. I hope you're plenty warm now, Peter. And as we start our second game or our second half, we're going to be transitioning a little bit more. I know we talked national team and Prem League, and we're going to be transitioning a little bit more into Champions League. For that end, we're playing a little Chelsea versus Atletico Madrid here this evening, and really excited to talk some Champions League storylines, picks, things like that, upsets. It's a big time, Peter. So before we kind of break down just and pick a couple of games to break down, any big storylines that you're following as it comes to Champions League, and maybe that surprise team who's going to make that deep run.
So, I don't know if you, I don't know if you, I guess if you call it a surprise, I think the British teams, I will obviously keep my eyes on. I think the never-ending quest for Man City to see if they can finally, bring the Champions League back to the Etihad will be an interesting one. I do think in terms of storylines, I think the Barcelona PSG game is fascinating. Um, you know, I just think is it everyone's talking about, is it Messi's last hurrah? Is it, does it? I do think they'll get beat in that one with Barcelona. But you never know with him, being involved. Um, and then I think I can't put my finger on Chelsea in terms of a surprise package. I just wonder. Atletico on paper should beat them, but with Tuchel going there and he shored up the defence. They've started to look a little bit more attacking. He, he, they could be the surprise package for me, I think now.
Yeah, the interesting piece, and I think where Chelsea is going to run into a problem in terms of Atleti is the fact that Atletico has such a commanding lead in the
Mm,
Spanish league, so they can really focus efforts on those Champions League
yeah.
rounds. I think is an unfortunate piece for Chelsea. Not to say that they don't have players, right? Captain America himself plays for the Blues, and Christian Pulisic, along with ton of other talent for sure. Although Pulisic is still hurt, and he's
Yeah.
a little side comment. He is definitely building up a career as a great talent, but usually hurt, and it's tough to be talented in the training room. Uh, um, but no, I think you've got a lot of really interesting storylines, and I want to ask you this because Liverpool is still in it, and it kind of segues from our Premier League talk. What's going on with Liverpool? They're kind of, you know, they've lost some sharpness.
Yeah, I think everyone's seen that, haven't they? I think you wondered. We talked at the top of the show about England's central defensive issues. I think Liverpool have suffered that and then some. I think when you take one of, if not the best centre backs in the world right now, um, out of their team, um, he's he's key for them. And then I think other players have suffered dips in form all at the same time. You talk about how important a keeper is, and Alisson's not been on it in the last few weeks. Um, Salah's Salah's not been his usual self. I think they've suffered injuries, but it's all seemingly happened at the same time, and it's one of those, you know, you can be good, but you also need a bit of luck on your side, and they've not had it this season. Whereas last, I'm not saying they didn't deserve to win the Premier League; they absolutely did, and they won it by a country mile. But everyone stayed fit for the majority of the season. They never suffered with injuries like they have this year. I do think they'll return to form. I do think they'll push Manchester City quite close in the league. Um, but I do that Leipzig game could be, it could be really interesting. it's a real test for them. That's for certain. And you wonder if they were to get beat convincingly, you wonder, how does Klopp react? Because I don't know if he's ever been under pressure as Liverpool gaffer thus far, as he's been steadily building, and then after winning the Premier League, when does he start to sort of feel pressure? I think that will be an interesting topic, because they'll now, I think, with the squad they've got, they'll now expect success. So it will be interesting. It will be interesting.
For sure. That's I think. And to kind of switch gears a little bit back to Barca PSG, which I think is the interesting thing, and here's the question, is which club is going to put more emphasis on Champions League, right? It's always easy to say we want to win everything, but Barcelona's trailing, they're third in La Liga, PSG's third in Liga, right? So when do you say, hey, we're gonna push for Champions League, make sure we're in a Champions League spot, but we're more interested in winning Champions League this year. I see PSG as putting more emphasis on Liga for sure, but I think that what Barcelona is doing as we head as this team heads into a potential post-Messi life here rather shortly is trying to thread that needle of infusing the younger talent with older players, right? You got your Frankie de Jong, you've got Ansu Fati, you've got Ousmane Dembele, who's one of the longer tenure players in that lineup, but he's not. I think he's 23, I believe. And then a few of the younger players like Pedri, getting time in really important games. So I think that as much as Barca wants to, and I don't quite know if Barcelona wants to have Lionel Messi leave on a positive note with his contract leak. I'm sure you saw that story come out, but I think Barcelona's trying to walk that very thin line of still being a relevant team while letting the old guard pass, which really is Messi and Busquets, it feels like right now, kind of letting those two emphasis players out of the lineup, and while letting the new players come in and learn. So I don't expect Barcelona to make a very deep run. If you had one pick right now, who do you think, with obviously everything could change, but who are you picking right now to say this team has probably the best shot as it stands to win Champions League?
I think with it being such a strange season, and I agree with you. I wonder about Atleti if I'm really honest, because I do think they may get La Liga sewn up earlier than those. If they make it the next couple of rounds, I think they'll be able to take their foot off the gas in Spain a little bit, in terms of league performances, and really, as you say, turn their attention to just focusing on the Champions League and raising their games for those individual games. For me, I think after, and they've come close a few times, haven't they, over the recent years. I think there'll be people inside their hierarchy that wants to, are desperate to finally pick that trophy up. So for me, maybe them. What about yourself?
Beautiful. Yeah, I think that in similar ways, but as I picked Pep earlier for my manager, that's a must. I think yet again, Pep's going to be the guy, and Pep can be the guy to keep this focus on a bunch of trophies. Keep the focus on and ask his team to put the blinders on the things that don't matter, focus on the things that do, and that means focusing in on Champions League, focusing in on the Prem. So
Yeah.
I think Pep can very well keep his team focused and interested because he's going to try so many crazy things and want to play in such a beautiful way. I would
I
love
do.
to see a
I,
Man City Athletic final.
yeah, that'd be what a game that'd be. I think the key thing for Manchester City is if they get if De Bruyne comes back from his current injury, and stays fit, um, and if they get the bonus of Sergio coming back and hitting any sort of Sergio Aguero type form, they'll be dangerous to any team. I think. Do I think defensively they look great at the moment? It's just have they got with De Bruyne out, with Sergio out, do they have enough going forward? Okay, they took a Liverpool team that's out of form apart at the weekend. I'm just not sure. Um, you know, some of Sterling can sometimes go missing in big games. And I just think Aguero up front and De Bruyne in the middle inspires so much more confidence for them, and I think they'll approach those games in an entirely different mindset with them playing. So, it'd be brilliant to see Man City do it. I think it'd be
Amen to
amazing.
that. Amen to that.